Now, in addition to domain controllers, we have another decision that has to be made as well, and that has to do with global catalogs and the different servers that will serve as a global catalog. You should be aware, at least at this point, that a global catalog provides a subset of the total Active Directory domain, the database, in order to service the logging in, the logging out of clients, the general authentication of clients. And as I mentioned before, back in the old days, the positioning of global catalogs was much more important when the network connections between our different sites was very small in comparison with the amount of data we were trying to push through them. These days, that amount of global catalog traffic, or the replication traffic, is quite a bit less. And so in a lot of environments, you find that global catalogs get installed just about everywhere. But a global catalog effectively is another configuration that you apply onto a domain controller. Let's say, for example, that this domain controller is the very first one that we've installed in our environment. And so because of that, has been configured as a global catalog. You have to have a global catalog in your environment in order to log in clients. And so because of that, we've got one sitting here in Denver. Well, as you go about configuring your other domain controllers, you may determine to add additional global catalog services at least into each site, so that one of the domain controllers in each site can serve as a global catalog. This can be a good practice to ensure that you have good performing logons as users are going about logging onto their machines. Global catalogs also help you locate objects within the forest, as well as providing information about universal groups. Now again, in the old days, you'd see these configured in such a way that at least you would have one global catalog probably per site. But the more common practice, whether or not it's an established best practice or not, the more common practice these days is to configure every domain controller as a global catalog. In a world where bandwidth is no longer at the premium it once was, this allows every domain controller to operate with all the functionality required to support the needs of its users. A little later on in this module, we'll talk about how you can go about configuring a domain controller as a global catalog server, and it's something you're probably going to want to do.